I'm joined by Einar Tangen, a senior fellow at the Center for International Government Innovation and chairman of Asia Narratives Substack. Mr. Einar, this is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first visit to China after a gap of 7 years. How is China looking at it, and what could possibly be on the agenda of the meeting of the two key Asian leaders?
Well, as you saw from the pictures from the airport, he was warmly welcomed. He was smiling. He was enjoying it. He took a leisurely walk down the stairs, and then he paused for quite a bit to say hello to all the people and enjoy the festivities that had been arranged for him. Red carpet treatment, definitely not the same as what Trump has been giving to other leaders. In terms of the agenda, you have to rebuild trust. The trust is built up over years. It can be lost in a second. And obviously, these two nations have different narratives about what happened. But the fact is, they have to reestablish trust. They're neighbors. They have issues that have to be solved. And I think this is the beginning, hopefully, of a long process where both sides can get comfortable with border issues, economic issues, and how to cooperate. Obviously, this has been pushed ahead by Donald Trump's kind of irrational attack on India. People are still scratching their head as to what India did to Donald Trump or to the United States to have this kind of stream of vitriol that's been going over for the last 3 days, a lot from Navarro, but also echoed by members of his cabinet. So, while that happens, there's speculation, especially here in China and Russia, that what is happening is that Donald Trump is afraid that India will take a leadership position on BRICS. BRICS has always been an issue. It's so much bigger than the United States as a collective, and that could be a problem for Donald Trump.
So, Einar, when we talk about working on the trust factor, also we must address that Vladimir Putin would also be there at the SEO summit, and that brings the three most influential global leaders at the same platform. How would this change the Asia's equation with the West?
Back in 2013, Xi Jinping said that the fate of Asia and the Asian century will depend on the relationship between India and China. Obviously, Russia is an addition to that equation. But, the West is going to try to portray this as some sort of axis of evil, or it's all against the United States, when in actuality, it's just a reaction to grievous trade policies, unilateralism by the United States as it seeks to once again impose this kind of colonial domination over all countries. It's not working with India. India has been firm. It's fought back. It's been the adult in the room, not engaging in name calling. But the fact is, the United States is not reliable, and a lot of the ideas that people had in India about the friendship are now in doubt.
So, Einar, having said all of this, do you anticipate any major shift in India's foreign policy going forward?
India's foreign policy is always about, as the minister said, it's about interest. It's not about friendship or enemies. I'm not necessarily in agreement with that. I do believe that there should be friendship, that you should start from a position and try to develop trust. And that's the basis of friendship. And this idea that you can just pursue your own narrow ends and that somehow the whole world will work out. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I do think India is in a position to lead. And that is really what is keeping Donald Trump in Washington up at night, especially if it comes down to BRICS, SCO. India has been the balancer for the United States. Now it could become the aggressor.
So, Einar, one more thing. As you said that India has always been about the interests and not the friendships or making enemies. Let me also point out that in NDTV Defense Summit today, Defense Minister of India Rajnath Singh said that there are no permanent friends or enemies at the international level, and there are only permanent interests. And there can be a lot of reading between the lines here. So how do you read this kind of a statement in the current geopolitical context with tariffs and sanctions?
Well, it shows that there's quite a bit of daylight between perspectives. China is always saying that it's a shared future for mankind, that friendship is important. From India's point of view, it's who do you trust? And as I said, I'm hopeful that in 5 years from now, the defense minister will say we do have friends, we do have allies, and our interests are aligned. Obviously, if we do not have a world that comes together, how are we going to deal with the poverty, economic development, climate? There are a lot of things facing us as a world. And India, as one of the largest countries, fastest growing, has a responsibility not only to its people, but the entire planet if we're going to continue living on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, Einar. This was quite insightful, and we'll keep an eye on the SEO summit as it unfolds. Tomorrow is going to be a very big day.